Welcome to this edition of FPD Roll Call. We've got Chief Lowery here with us today to discuss the year-end review for 2015, and then later on in the show we'll be talking about the January 2016 crime stats and some upcoming events. With me now is Chief Lowery. Chief, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So 2015, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So first off, let's talk about the crime statistics and where we're at for 2015 and where we ended up.
In 2015, we experienced a slight increase in overall crime. Violent crime stayed pretty level. However, we did experience a lot of increase in stealings, which of course I attribute that to quite a bit new stores opening, such as the Walmart store. So I obviously am concerned when there's any increase in crime. However, I think that there is reasons for that, and of course the national average right now is crime is up nationally. So obviously, we have concerns, but we feel like we're still doing a lot of the right things. Our citizens are continuing to call us when they see some suspicious things in their neighborhoods, which is obviously always important, something that we talk about all the time with our citizens. And in our neighborhood watch groups, that it's so important for if people see something that looks suspicious in the neighborhood to call us, because I always say that I think our officers do a great job patrolling our neighborhoods. However, nobody knows the neighborhood better than the citizens that live there. So so they continue to call. I know that our calls for service were way up, which tells me that people are listening to what we have to say and listening to our message and calling us when they see suspicious activity.
Right. And another thing with the neighborhood watch is our burglaries are actually down for the year.
Yes,
so,
and we were always excited to see that, because I think that that's the one crime that bothers people the most, obviously, and it should, is when somebody breaks into their home. And we did see a nice increase in reported burglary, so that's a great sign that things are going well.
Right, and let's talk about our plan for the increased amount of stealings at the business sectors.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've implemented a business liaison police officer. It's Officer Steve Johnson. And his job is to basically work with the businesses, all businesses in the city of Florissant, obviously the big box stores such as Walmart, Kmart. You'll spend a lot of time there, but interacting and giving them crime prevention tips, helping them with things that they can do to prevent crime, and really working together with the police department in ways that we can help them. And I think it's been, so far, I think we've had it for about 6 months. Officer Johnson's been assigned to that position, and I think we already see some positive things that are coming out of that program. And he's doing an outstanding job interacting with our business people.
Right. Okay, so some new equipment for 2015. We've got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. The traffic division is very happy. We bought 2 motorcycles this year. 2 motorcycles. I think I have right now 3 officers that are trained to ride the motorcycles. Main purpose is, of course, as I still continue to get calls from the citizens about speeding in the neighborhoods, things like that. We can deploy the motorcycles to do some traffic enforcement on residential streets. I will not allow them to be on the main streets, Halls Ferry, 67, things like that, as far as traffic enforcement, but certainly get them in our subdivisions and dealing with the traffic issues in our subdivisions. Be a great tool. And then, of course, we use them for our parades, funeral details, things like that.
Sure.
And that part of it's kind of a good, nice public relations tool to see, and another aspect of the Florissant Police Department. So I think it's been great. The guys are excited about it.
And along with the motorcycles, we have new radio system.
Yes, it was about 3 or 4 years ago, countywide. There was a ballot issue that the Chief Carabas was actually a big part of. This is that for a new countywide radio system for all first responders. And this past years, when we actually started getting the new radios in our vehicles, our walkie-talkies, and now not only can we talk to each other as the Florissant Police Department, but we can talk to the fire department, we can talk to the police departments around us. If we have a major emergency that occurs, let's say we have a major accident on the highway, and there's multiple jurisdictions, multiple fire districts there, we can all get on the same radio, and we can actually communicate with each other. And then before, we never were able to do that, and it really created a lot of problems for us in the communication level. That has all been taken away, and it's just a great system. And I really do thank Chief Carabas for really pushing forward with that program. And honestly, he gets 100% of the credit for making sure that happened, because he's something that he envisioned years ago when he was the police chief of Brentwood, and he has continued that, and finally it happened, and it's a wonderful system.
And that's all a result of the 2009 tax, E911 tax that was passed.
It is, absolutely. Yes, sir.
And then also upcoming, we have our dispatch centers going to be completely redone and enhanced 911 system on that as well.
That is correct. Yeah, well, hopefully that'll happen maybe towards mid-year into this year. They're still buying the equipment, and we've already have our layout. We're just now waiting for the equipment to come in, and them actually getting the opportunity to put it in our station. So that, like I said, an enhanced 911 works great with the cell phones. I mean, because really honestly, most people have cell phones now. A lot of people don't have the home phones, the landlines.
Right.
And so this will be able to pinpoint exactly where that 911 call is coming from. It'll go right to the right piece app, and we can dispatch cars, ambulances right away.
And then we'll do, once everything gets installed, we'll do a show, a roll call show.
Okay, great.
Based just on that.
that'd be
Let
great.
everybody know how it works and stuff like that. So
Yep.
that's going to be coming as soon as it's installed, and we don't really have an exact timeline on that. So when it happens, we'll let you know. Okay, so let's get into. We're dedicated to having an officer. We've had an officer with the DEA for a long time. So we've just attached another officer. Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
for a little
absolutely.
bit?
So he's actually attached to the St. Louis County Violent Crime Task Force, which works in conjunction with the FBI and other federal agencies, along with the St. Louis County Police Department, other municipal police departments, and so we've assigned an officer there who will work probably more street level type violent crime here in the city of Florissant and the North County area. Our officer is assigned to a North County group, and so he will be working very closely with all the municipalities here to help with the violent crime, the drug trafficking, things like that here in the North County area, and assigned to the task force. So we're very excited to be part of that task force. A very efficient task force. They do very good work, and so we're pretty excited to have an officer assigned there.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a great look with the DEA program, so I'm sure this will be just as good.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into some of our community relations, community events that we've had. Let's start with the mentoring program at Combs School. That's new for 2015.
Yes, and it's two of our officers, two of our SROs, school resource officers, Officer Lee and Officer Barry, took it upon themselves to start mentoring a group of 10 students at Combs Elementary School, high-risk students that weren't doing very well in their academic performance, and they met with these kids about once or twice a week and to help them with their performance, self-esteem, things like that. And they invited myself and the command staff to meet with this group of kids at a Christmas party, which was put together by Officer Lee and Officer Barry. And I'll tell you, it's been an outstanding program. They've already seen an increase in their academic scores, their attendance, and they've really attached to these two officers and have really helped them a lot. And we hope to continue that program, just not in Combs School, but other schools within the city of Florissant, because it does work, and it really has worked with these 10 students. And you can just see the difference in the feedback that I'm getting from the teachers and the principals at the schools, that how much it really has helped these kids. And hopefully this will be a long-term effect for them, and that they'll have a lot of success in the future.
And Officer Barry and Officer Lee actually, for the Christmas party, they actually donated their own money to get them presents and the food and stuff like that. So,
Yes.
so they really took it.
Yeah, they're very dedicated and loyal to the program, and like I said, I didn't know that they were doing that, but they did that all on their own, and they did pay for all that, and it just shows the dedication of the Florissant police officers as individuals, not just the police department.
Right. And another way we reached out to the community this Christmas season was the Summons of Joy program. So.
Yeah, we teamed up with North County Churches United for Racial Harmony, and in 10 of their churches actually raised money to buy Target gift cards, and they bought 54 of them. Was that correct?
45.
45 gift cards. Our officers went out on the streets. They stopped people from minor traffic violations, and if they felt like they had kids, they had some need, which everybody does at Christmas, instead of giving them a regular summons, they would hand them a Summons of Joy piece of paper and a $100 gift card to be used at Target at the Christmas holidays. And I'll tell you what, it was an unbelievable program. I mean, we had great feedback. The reaction of people, and really even the officers, the buy-in for the officers, and how excited they were to be able to really reach out to somebody and touch them in a positive way during the holidays, really meant a lot to the officers and to, of course, the citizens that were given the gift cards. And I think it was a great program, and of course we hope to enhance this program next year. I know the churches in the North County area are very excited about doing it again. So I think that we definitely have buy-in there, and I think that it was just a great program, and I really do give the churches a lot of credit for coming up with this program and this idea and bringing it to us at the Florissant Police Department and allowing us to touch these people in a positive way. It means a lot for our relations with our community.
Yeah, and the officers that did it, they seemed like they really got a real enjoyment out of it, and look forward to doing it again next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really energized the officers that were doing it. I'll tell you that I got a lot of positive feedback from the officers that did it, and they were excited, and they can't wait to do it next year.
Right, right. Okay, so let's move into we're CLIA accredited.
Yes.
The CLIA stands for the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. This is our 15th assessment year, so let's talk about that. We had an assessment this year and right around Christmas time. So.
Yeah, right at the beginning of December, we had an assessment team come into the Florissant Police Department, look at all of our policies, procedures, our manuals, the way we actually do business overall, not just what's in the manual, but the way that the Florissant Police Department conducts themselves. And I can tell you that it was probably the best report that we've ever had. It was one of the best assessments that we've ever had. It just goes to show you the professionalism of the Florissant Police Department and the great work that our officers do, and that we just don't write something in policy, we actually follow that, and that's how we work as a police department. And the two assessors came in very excited about our police department, very excited about really the North County area. They both said at different times is that they really didn't know what to expect, knowing that we're in this North San Luis County area. Of course, 2014 was Ferguson. Didn't really know what to expect. Thought that they might be getting set up for failure. Sure. And they were very excited. Both of them said this was probably one of the best police departments that they ever had the pleasure of giving an assessment to. And so what will happen now is that they've given us a positive report. There's nothing negative in the report. A couple of suggestions of things that we can do better, and of course we always look for things that we can do better. But we will then have in March, we will go in front of the CLIA assessment board, and they will review everything. They'll ask us questions, and they'll make further suggestions. And then after that, we will receive our reaccreditation gold standard. So we're very excited about that, and that'll happen at the end of March.
And then it's every 3 years that we get reaccredited.
And they actually they're going to a 4-year cycle after this cycle. It's been 3 years up to this point, but after this point, it goes to 4 years.
Goes to 4 years.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then also we have, if you tune into the Florissant Police Department's YouTube channel as well as the city's YouTube channel, we have the Summons of Joy program on there. Videos of all the traffic stops and things that we gave out the cards, as well as our CLIA assessment. So and on there's a video of what the community actually came out and said about the police department and the good things that we do and things like that. So both of those are available right now on the Florissant Police Department's YouTube channel as well as the city's. So before we close, we haven't done it yet, but we have the polar plunge coming up, the Special Olympics polar plunge. So by the time we get done with this show and it airs, we will have video that we can drop in and show how it went. But can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, they've been doing these polar plunges for many years. Of course, it raises money for the Special Olympics. And the Special Olympics is something that law enforcement nationwide has really attached themselves with. And so with the Florissant Police Department, we've always done things, sell T-shirts. We participate in the torch run. Our group of officers will run for about 1.5 miles down North Highway 67 just prior to the Special Olympics in Missouri. But we were going to try to find a way to get more involved. So between Craig and I, we decided, let's take a run at this polar plunge. They raise a lot of money that way. There's a lot of good videos out there. So we decided we were going to give it a shot at see how we could do with that. So we pledged that we would try to get 10 officers and raise about $5,000 for the polar plunge, which, by the way, is on Saturday. Well, it really got energized. I was the first one to sign up, and I kind of challenged the police department to get involved. And so we ended up having a team of 44 officers, employees of the police department, employees of the city, and even some citizens that have signed up to be on our team. And I think as of today, we've raised about $10,800. So we've more than doubled what we wanted to raise. Right. And so all of that money goes to the Missouri Special Olympics. And of course, on Saturday, we get to jump in this cold water down at Creve Coeur Lake. Now, the only good news is it's going to be about 60 degrees.
Right.
The bad news is the water is going to be about 30.
Right.
But I think it really honestly is. It's just a small price to pay for what these athletes have gone through in their life. And to see these athletes compete and receive their medals is very, very rewarding. So, I mean, these are great people, and they really enjoy the Special Olympics. And I think it's a great thing for the Florissant Police Department to get so involved in. And it really, to up our commitment to the Special Olympics, really means a lot to the entire community, and certainly the officers are energized to do this.
So it's safe to say maybe next year we'll do it. You're not gonna do it.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll check out that water this year.
We'll do it as a police department.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. So all right. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we're gonna take a break, and then we'll be back with the January crime statistics.
If you smoke, this message can save you some money, cash money. If you smoke and you can add and subtract, then listen up. The average smoker spends about $1,500 a year on cigarettes. Do the math. How much money are you burning? Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW and save some of your hard-earned cash. Do the math and call the Missouri Tobacco Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Do the math. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. You can do this.
Welcome back to the show. I will now review the January 2016 crime statistics. There were 2 robberies in the month of January, and they were reported at the following locations. On January 16th, in the 600 block of Rosetta, and on January 25th in the 3500 block of Patterson Road. There were 12 burglaries in the month of January. They were reported at the following locations. On January 8th in the 500 block of Washington Street. Also on January 8th in the 1600 block of Fenmore Drive. On January 9th in the 400 block of St. Jacques. On January 10th in the 800 block of Charbonnier. On January 12th in the 1st block of Waterford Drive. On January 15th in the 100 block of Florissant. On January 20th in the 1500 block of Grandview. On January 22nd in the 1100 block of Manresa. On January 23rd in the 1300 block of St. Jean. On January 28th in the 1000 block of Hallwood. On January 28th in the 1st block of Mary Ann Court. And finally on January 28th in the 1200 block of Lafayette. There were 9 motor vehicle thefts in the month of January, and they were reported at the following locations. On January 5th in the 2100 block of North Highway 67. On January 10th in the 900 block of St. Anthony. On January 11th in the 1000 block of Verline. On January 13th in the 1500 block of Yaqui. On January 16th in the 1400 block of Waterford. Also on January 16th in the 2000 block of Aqueduct. On January 18th in the 100 block of Maple. On January 25th in the 3300 block of North Highway 67. And on January 30th in the area of St. Anthony and Washington Street. There were 70 stealings in the month of January, and they were broken down into the following categories. There were 30 shopliftings, 2 stealings from motor vehicles, 9 stealings of motor vehicle parts, 12 stealings from buildings, and then 17 miscellaneous stealings. There were 12 property damages reported in the month of January. Well, that concludes the crime statistics. I've got a few announcements to make prior to the end of the show. The Florissant Police Explorers will be hosting a trivia night on April 16th, 2016. This will be held at 6:30 p.m. at the JFK Community Center, located at 315 Howdershell. The cost for a table of 8 is $160. Included in that price will be refreshments, snacks, and there will be multiple items that you can bid on, door prizes, things like that. All the money will go to benefit the Florissant Police Department Explorer Post as well as the Overland Police Department's Explorer Posts. For more information, you can contact Officer Jenna Carlson or Officer Nick Osmer, and they will get you more information on how to register a table. Do sign up quickly if you are interested, because these tables do fill up by the end of the registration period. Act quickly on that. The next event that I like to talk about is April 30th. It's on a Saturday. We're still in the planning stages, but the police department will have a safety day for children. It's a 2-hour event from 10 a.m. to noon. We will have available to the people that come fittings for bike helmets, as well as a car seat check being done by the fire department to make sure that your car seats are properly installed in your vehicles. There are some more events that are going to be some more things at that event that will be available. We're still in the planning stages, but mark your calendars for April 30th. It's a Saturday from 10 a.m. till noon at the JFK Center. The next event I'd like to talk about is the Florissant Police Department Safety Town. This is an event that the police department hosts every year. This is our 19th year in sponsoring this event, along with the Rotary Club and the Ferguson, Florissant, and Hazelwood school districts. The Safety Town is for it's a safety program for 4-, 5-, and 6-year-old preschool children. Some of the topics that they discussed during the 2-week period are walking safety, bicycle and tricycle safety, school bus safety, poison safety, playground safety. There's a visit from the Fire Protection District, and Eddie will also be there as well, the Florissant Police Dog, to talk about dog safety. So if you're interested in the program, this is another program that fills up very quickly. So please contact Officer Summers at the police department, or you can email her. Her email will be up on the screen, and get that registration in as soon as possible. The session starts June 6th and runs through June 17th, and the time on that is 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Well, that's it for the show. If you'd like to stay connected with the police department, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We also have a website, www.florissantmo.com/police. For an emergency, please dial 911. You can contact us non-emergency at 314-831-7000. And my contact email is cdehart@florissantmo.com, or my office at 314-830-6042. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on FPD Roll Call.